one day, which I'm not, but one day, I think it's really important that to be able to influence senior stakeholder or to add value really to the business, then you need to understand the business completely upside down, every part of the details, to be able to make a difference.
The people that stick the hand up, people that say, I'll give it a go, or people that ask for help, they're the people that tend to progress. The people that think they can do it all themselves and don't need any help or are afraid to ask for help are the people who are probably less likely to easily move and navigate through an organisation. So I would look for people that wanted to do a bit more, be helpful to others, and stick their hand up for the more difficult pieces of work.
Number one thing for me is that you need to be able to keep demonstrating results. Right? I mean, you have to be able to demonstrate results. So don't just, when you're building your CV towards, if you want to be a HR director, when you're building that CV, don't just think about what experience and titles you need to have and training you need to have. You've got to think about, say, for example, you've got an ambition to be a HR director in 5 years' time. Okay, what results will you need to have achieved in that? And it'll be about return on investment. ROI is a big thing for me. It is in coaching. I have written about it actually in the very last pages of the book that I've just written. It's always about ROI. What is the return on investment?
So I think you have to ask yourself, do you want to stay in one sector, or do you want to be quite varied? I mean, and do you want to be a specialist, or do you want to be a generalist? And I think over my 25 odd years plus of HR, I've gone one way and then I've gone another way. But I would stay in manufacturing forever, and I wanted to move sectors because I wanted to grow and develop. And hence I've probably done every sector now. I'm a very broad generalist.
Again, is to decide on a career path that you want. An HRD's role is often a very lonely one, and it's a very, very challenging one. So people need to understand what it is they want to do. So if they want to specialise just in engagement activities, then the path through to that is probably a bit through HR and a bit through L&D. Can you just go from each level to each level? Well, organisations are all different. So you might start off as an HR administrator, and then it might become an advisor, and then an officer, and then a business partner, and then a head of HR, and an HR manager, an HRD. Most organisations can't afford those. So it will be about demonstrating impact in each role you have, and then moving progressively. And it depends whether or not people are chasing a title.
It's been quite squiggly. I've tried lots of different things. I was a line manager first, so not in HR, then did it as part of my line management job. I did a generalist role, moved into a specialist role, did a generalist role, moved into a specialist role at every level. I think I built relationships, which for me is absolutely key for everything. I've always been very open with what I would and wouldn't do, and taken every opportunity that's given me, but let people know what I was prepared to do as well.
As you move through your journey, it's less about the technical, you're the professional lead for the service, but the more you move from being a technical, your focus being on technical knowledge and less about stakeholder engagement. And as you move through your journey, it's more about the latter. So by the time you reach my level, I'm first and foremost a board director who in my second hat is I lead the HR service. But first and foremost, I'm around the table because I'm a board director. So that becomes about the organisation. It's back to the business acumen, commercial savvy, all of those skills. So it's that as you move through your journey, if you want to move through that status, it actually becomes less about HR as a technical profession and more about the business.
I think personal development and having a drive for personal development is really important. I would say volunteer for project work. So say, for example, the business is going through a period of change and there's a a project team looking at the next 5 years, volunteer to be on that. Volunteer to be on that, because what you'll get is you'll get a wide business experience. You'll have an opportunity to influence a small group of people who have a voice at the executive table, and therefore you'll be able to bring a people perspective into that. I'd also say keep yourself informed of current best practice, of current trends, current way of thinking around people, and be innovative. Don't just think you have to follow those trends. What can you do to lead them, and be seen to lead them?
Always stay one step ahead of your role. So brilliant. If you come in and do a good job, that's absolutely great. You know, we need people to be doing a good job. If you're ambitious, you will always go beyond that. You'll be staying one step ahead. You'll be making recommendations. You'll be looking at the climate. You'll be making changes yourself. And it's all about adding value to HR, adding value to the organisation. And you can do that at whatever level you're at. Administrator, advisor, a BP. It's always about staying one step ahead of the role that you're doing. And I go back to stakeholder management, internal networks, external networks. You build all of those. You don't sit and wait.
Well, I think you've got to be pretty determined, and you've got to be pretty hardworking to progress. It's all about learning for me, taking every opportunity to learn. And in order to progress, you've really got to be reaching outside the job that you're in, growing outside the job that you're in, so that when opportunities arise, the people around you and the people making decisions around career progression, you're an obvious person that should be in the running for that role. So I'd encourage people to take every opportunity to get involved in projects outside your normal work role, to engage with the business and network, learn about the business in order to progress.